We're here at Rockingham Motor Speedway, located in Northamptonshire, one of Europe's fastest circuits. Welcome to ThundersportGB.
Welcome to Rockingham Motor Speedway for ThundersportGB. The sun is shining and we've got some racing coming up for you here. The Doodson Motorsport Super and Mini Twins and Formula 400s. On pole position, the man that has been in stunning form recently from Alton Park, Snetterton onwards. Here he is on the Kawasaki ZXR 400, Josh Daly, number 88, leading the Doodson Motorsport 650 Open standings and the LMB Formula 400 Cup standings also. Second place there for Sam Cox of Malden, number 54, another rider that is well capable of winning a race here. He's on the Aprilia 450 machine, so he is eligible for the Super Twin Cup and the 650 Open standings. There's Callum Cooper, number 7, the JDF rider, also on an Aprilia 450. And bearing in mind, none of the riders have been around this new international circuit before, he is going great guns. Number 20 there is Tom Oliver, and Tom from Colchester looking to get as many points as possible. Currently, well, he came into this event 3rd overall in the 650 Open Championship. Lots of bikes on the grid, ready for this one. There's a couple of 400s out there to look out for also, but the lights are going to go out in a minute. Keep an eye on the 400 of Josh Daly. There he is on the inside, but it's a cracking start from number 7, Callum Cooper, on the JDF Aprilia 450. Into the first chicane we go, and Tom Oliver's got himself up into second place. That looks like Ross Twyman from the second row. Where has Josh Daly gone? Josh Daly from pole position has disappeared. There's his bike. We have a fall, and that's into the first chicane. So we've got a bit of an incident there, and Josh is being treated down on the side there. Well, hopefully Josh up and okay, but that's an incident on turn 1 as Callum Cooper is your race leader. Tom Oliver second. That is Ross Twyman in 3rd place with the black leathers, number 15 in 3rd place, who for the moment is up there. But if Josh Daly's not up and okay shortly, then we may well see red flags out, because that looked like it must have been quite a nasty incident. As it is, Callum Cooper leads, Tom Oliver second place, 15 there is Ross Twyman in 3rd. That's Will Hodgson up to 4th. So Aprilia 450s dominating this as they exit Tarzan hairpin onto the school straight, which was actually, oh, red flags are out. Red flags are out. That must be for that incident involving Josh Daly there. Well, that's a fast place to be coming off just after the start-finish straight, so hopefully Josh Daly is going to be okay. We're ready for the restart then, and it's another great start from Callum Cooper, but this time just closing the door is Tom Oliver, and Tom Oliver is going to go into turn 1 as the race leader ahead of Callum Cooper. Will Hodgson up to 3rd place. Ross Twyman again with a good start. Sam Cox has lost out on a few places, but look at the number of Aprilia 450s at the front of this race. It is going to be Tom Oliver that leads into Dean, this double apex left-handed hairpin. That's Aussie Mady, number 75, just going up there. He's up in the top 7 or 8, having to deal with a number of Aprilia 450s and the odd mini twin of Curtis Rothwell and James Robinson also. There is Tom Oliver, though, the race leader, 3rd in the championship ahead of Callum Cooper of the Isle of Man. Then Will Hodgson, that's Harry Coomber, just being overtaken by the wild style of Ross Twyman coming up underneath him. Ross Twyman, number 15 with the black leathers. Here is Tom Oliver then, and into Tarzan, the hairpin. Callum Cooper thought about a move up the inside then, but he's got another opportunity now then, side by side as they go onto the school straight, and then it's on the brakes, down to about 2nd gear as they enter Brook Chicane, which will then eventually lead us back onto the oval and onto the start-finish straight. Here we are then. It's Tom Oliver that leads as they come across the line, and Callum Cooper now tucked in the slipstream. You've got to be big and brave, though, if you want to make an overtaking move. Stick into this first chicane, and if you get the line right, you can just see the riders there riding straight over the curb on the right-hand side of that before they head down and into Dean hairpin, which should then take you into the inner circuits. Is Ross Twyman and Harry Cooper side by side again, fighting away for 4th and 5th place. Will Hodgson currently the man holding 3rd place overall. There's Sam Cox, a leading mini twin at the moment. Well, that's still being fought out between Curtis Rothwell and James Robinson, and Ozzy Mady is leading the Formula 400 race. Sitting alongside me in the commentary box. I'm lucky enough to have one of the co-directors of ThundersportGB in, Thundersport Sid. Sid, always a pleasure to have you up here. Nice to have Rockingham back on the calendar again.
It's fantastic, actually. Call me Dad. Everyone knows that I'm your dad. But it's a great site and a fantastic facility. Underused, in my opinion, but it's so good to see these 450s out here, because it seems like this circuit was basically made for these prototypes. And you know, when you look at championship leader Callum Cooper there, I'm already, if he wasn't so young, I'm tempted to call him the professor, because he sits there and he waits for his chance, waits for the competitor in front to make a mistake, but you don't see any mad lunges by the lad.
No, he's a talented rider, and of course he's been mentored by Neil Hodgson. Neil Hodgson's father, very good friends, as well as Neil, with Callum Cooper's dad. Oh, a little bit of a rear-end wobble then from Curtis Rothwell, who's trying to get mini-twin glory. But Tom Oliver, you can't discount Tom. Of course, last year's runner-up in the Aprilia Super Team title, and he's got used to that 450 pretty quickly, as has Callum Cooper. And look at Ross Twyman. Ross Twyman, very good friends with Tom Oliver off-circuit. Nice to see him getting used to the 450. He's now starting to challenge for podiums himself.
Ross Twyman is such a revelation, and he really has come to fruition with this. He's picking up some fantastic points, and his confidence grows with every event.
In fact, Ross Twyman looks as though he may well just be pushing to try and get himself up onto the podium soon, and Callum Cooper pulls level now alongside Tom Oliver, and it looks as though as they head into the first chicane, Cooper moves up into 1st place, and look at the drive he's got out of the first chicane. Ross Twyman is going to take advantage of this also, and his mate off circuit is soon going to become his enemy on circuit as he shoots up the inside. Does he? Not quite. Further back, that's Harry Coomber making light work of Will Hodgson.
Harry Coomber is a fantastic racer, you know. He really does dominate in the wet. He's the only guy I've seen overtake on the outsides of Gerrard's in the pouring rain.
Harry Coomber, a rider that is inconsistent to say the least. There are some days in the dry where he is just ballistic. And we remember, if you remember back to last year, that 15-bike battle at Donington Park in the Aprilia Super Teams.
Oh,
Harry Coomber managed to come out of that on top, but now he's going to get overtaken by Will Hodgson at Tarzan Hairpin. A block pass from Will, but his momentum is stopped almost because Ross Twyman has to sit the bike up as he fights with Tom Oliver for 2nd, and all the while Callum Cooper is just edging away from the pack.
These are brave lads. I mean, to come into this particular championship with all these Aprilia 450s, and it's like the RRV 450 GP challenge. I mean, you really need to be at the top of your game, and you could easily pick championships that are much easier to compete in.
This is a wonderful championship. Of course, these riders will be in the Aprilia 450 championship as well as this Doodson Motorsports championship, but it's handy that they've got all these to choose from. Sam Cox in the background just started to close in on this gaggle of 4 riders fighting it out for 2nd place. They're all in the low 130s at the moment as far as lap times are concerned. Callum Cooper, meanwhile, faultless into the mid 129s, which is certainly helping him a lot. And further back, that's the mini-twin battle. That looks like James Robinson, Alistair Fagan and Curtis Rothwell, all within about a couple of tenths of each other. Meanwhile, into Tarzan corner, on his knee, the JDF rider of Callum Cooper. JDF, John Davis Racing, of course, a man that has nurtured quite a few talents in his time. James Folkard and a number of others, to say the least. But back onto the start-finish straight with the last lap flag out is Callum Cooper. He now has around about a 2-second advantage over the chasing pack. It's Tom Oliver, Ross Twyman, Will Hodgson, Harry Cooper and Sam Cox fighting it out for the podium places, or the remaining podium places in the 650 Open. But here is Cooper into this Dean hairpin.
I was talking to Alistair Fagan, and I feel so sorry for him, and he's desperate to podium in this class. He's obviously a journal for fast bikes and supported by JHS Racing. But with these pesky kids in front of him, it's really difficult to get up there.
Yes, Alistair Fagan, he's on a Suzuki 650, but he's not included in the mini-twin points because I believe his 650's got just a bit more power, which means that he's ineligible for mini-twins points. So that does mean that he is up against these pesky wabbits up here. Here is number 7, Callan Cooper, though, on this final lap. He exits Tarzan. He'll have time just to have a look down fields and see that he's got enough of a lead as he heads into Brook Chicane for the final time. Ross Twyman, well, he's established himself in second position, and it looks as though he'll hold on to that ahead of Tom Oliver across the line. Cooper looks behind him. It's 25 points in the bag for Callan Cooper. He wins here at Rockingham in the Doodson Motorsport Supertwins, Mini-Twins and F400s, and Ross Twyman does take second place ahead of his good friend Tom Oliver. The battle for fourth, well, that's won by Sam Cox, Will Hodgson in fifth, and Harry Coomber takes 6th place. In 7th, incidentally, Ozzy Mady, the winner of the Formula 400s, and Curtis Rothwell just pinched the first place in the Mini-Twins. There's confirmation of the top 6 there. Cooper winning it by 2.1 seconds. There's Cooper in the middle of the picture, Twyman to the left, and Tom Oliver on the right. In the Mini-Twins, it's Curtis Rothwell with James Robinson and Lewis Osler. And the 400s, the winner, Ozzy Mady, and Ian Evans second.
Ozzy Mady, winner of the Formula 400. Warm, I hear you say.
It's very warm. It's a bit humid out there.
Yeah, it is very hot, and it's a tight track, not a lot of rest. Have you got some people that you want to thank?
Yeah, my parents especially, for getting me down here, support me all the time. After Snetterton, we had a few engine issues. We had to get a new engine, exhaust, wheels, whatever. So, like I say, thank you to my parents, Warren Richardson for both contributing towards the new engine and parts, David Corrin, who's consistently helped throughout the year, the Alderman Steam Packet Company, who's helped with the ferry costs, and everybody else who's supported throughout the season.
It's a long way to come from the Isle of Man. Very well done, Ozzy.
Thank you very much.
Curtis Rothwell, winner of the Mini-Twins. You must have enjoyed that.
That was an anniversary point I've had this year, actually. James Robertson pushed me all the way. He's going well this round, so well done to him. He's done well.
Brilliant. Have you got some people you'd like to thank?
Yeah, big thanks to my mum and dad as always. Thanks for all their help. Mick, Adam Pelferman, Safely in Golma, Adam from Gore Spikes. Thanks for all your help.
Well done, mate.
Thank you.
Callan Cooper, Supertwins winner. Fantastic race. You got out there and sort of did really well. Chew them a clean set of heels, really.
Yeah, it was a good race. Josh went out and I thought it was my time to shine, so I went for the win quite early on, and I thought I could break him, which I did in the end. So yeah, all went to plan basically.
Well, obviously we saw the start and the restart. Were you right behind Josh?
No, I was leading at that point, I think, actually. Yeah, I was leading. I didn't see anything. I just saw the red flag when it came out.
Okay, mate. Who would you like to thank?
Mum, Dad, John Davies, DC, Duke Marketing, and everyone else that helped out, and the Thundersport a lot. Thanks a lot.
Well done, mate.
Cheers.
Moped, sports bikes, you save watts. Any bike, it makes no odds. We will give you what you need. Best price always guaranteed. Come to us and get a quote. You'll be singing note for note. Walk away with cash to spend on anything you want, my friend. Bike Insurer, Bike Insurer, Bike Insurer.
Get the cheapest bike insurance, guaranteed, only from the Bike Insurer.
Welcome back to ThundersportGB at Rockingham. We are past the halfway point of the championship in 2012, and next up the Doodson Motorsports Supertwins, Mini-Twins and F400s, 4 classes in one. On pole position there is Sam Cox, alongside him Callan Cooper. Both of these riders on Aprilia 450s, of course. Dominant machine in this championship so far this year, with the exception of Josh Daly on the Kawasaki. There in third place is Tom Oliver. Now, of course, you'll be seeing the gap on the front of the grid. That's why Tom Oliver's been moved up to third. That's because Josh Daly had a nasty incident earlier on. and was airlifted to hospital. I can confirm that Josh is okay and will be fit to race for Anglesey at the end of August. But as it is, the Aprilia 450s will dominate the front of this class. I'll keep you up to date with all of the classes in this championship as the race goes on, but 1.94 miles of circuit, 8 laps for these riders, and it's Tom Oliver that gets off to the best start, just ahead of Callan Cooper on the JDF 450. But Callan Cooper got some excellent drive out of Dean. It's almost, Dean corner is a hairpin, but it's a double apex left-hander, so you can make it up on the exit if you get the entry completely right. It's Oliver, it is in third. Sam Cox up into fourth place. Just going through there, number 11. It's nice to have David Allingham back with us, the Northern Irish rider, who of course injured himself back at Snetterton and dropped a few points. So nice to have the Ulsterman back with us racing. But as it is, number 7, Callan Cooper, a rider that's been dominating the Aprilia 450 class this year, leads from Tom Oliver. Sam Cox in third, 61. Harry Coomber in fourth place there, rider from Radstock. And Harry's, well, if we get him on the podium, he's always a joy to listen to. Harry Coomber, full of the joys of spring, of course, sponsored by Bardell Oils. And there he is with that white helmet and the blue stripe with the blue leathers, just behind the orange and blue leathers of Sam Cox and in the slipstream. Back at the front, though, it's Callan Cooper, and he starts proceedings off with a 1:31, and that's only a couple of seconds off his fastest lap around here, and that's from a standing start. So good effort from Callan Cooper as they head into Dean Corner. Tom Oliver from Colchester in second place. Sam Cox holds on to third ahead of Harry Coomber, and then just behind that pair we've got Ross Twyman in the all-black leathers, number 15. Slightly different riding style to his competitors. Ross, very much a confidence rider is Ross, and things are going well for him at the moment, and as a result he is pushing up the standings. Cooper then, who leads the 450 Aprilia Championship, but here he's not in the top 3 of the championship, currently 4th in the 650 Open behind Tom Oliver, so this would do him a few favours if he can move ahead of Oliver, who's coming under pressure now from Harry Coomber. So there's a fierce battle going on for second place. There's Tom Oliver with the white helmet just ahead of Harry Coomber. Sam Cox behind him in 4th, then Ross Twyman. Look at the lead that Callan Cooper's opening up here, though. A 1:29.9 that time around for Callan Cooper, and that's a good 3 or 4 tenths quicker than the chasing pack here can manage as they head around out of the chicane and down into Dean, the first hairpin here at Rockingham. Keep the bike leant over before on the power, use up all the curb on the exit and then tip into Yentwood. This 90-degree right-hander. Straighten the bike up a bit and then tip it into Chapman Curve, which is where race leader Callan Cooper goes. Harry Coomber then up to second now, ahead of Tom Oliver. Sam Cox still in 4th, looking hungry for a podium. Josh Daly, the rider that is of course absent, you're normally seeing him on that Kawasaki 400 at the front of this. Due to that injury, well, it's giving everyone else just a chance to close in, certainly in the Formula 400 Championship, which Josh is as good as, he's got that as good as one pretty much, but as far as the 650 Open is concerned, it's a bit closer. So this is relatively good news for the rest of the riders, although of course they'll all be wishing Josh well. Josh, a rider that raced with most of these guys in the Aprilia Superteen Championship just a couple of years ago. There's Sam Cox, number 54, fighting for a podium ahead of Tom Oliver, and Ross Twyman there. Ross, good friends with Tom Oliver off circuit, and it's rare that you get to see those two guys fighting side by side, but in a minute Tom Oliver's going to have company. Tom thinking about going up the inside into that first chicane, that would be big and brave. But already into the hairpin at Dean, Callan Cooper, the race leader, being chased down now by Harry Coomber. In 3rd place, that's Sam Cox, Tom Oliver and Ross Twyman there. A really tight approach into the Dean hairpin, but luckily doesn't get himself stuck through there. These Aprilia 450s dominating the front of this. We've got Aprilia 450s first down to 6th, and then Alistair Fagan is leading the 650s. Well, he's got a 650. I'm not sure if he's going to be classified in the mini-twin standings because Curtis Rockwell leads that championship. He's up ahead of Ozzy Maddy at the moment, who's leading the Formula 400s. Aussie currently third in the F400 championship. There is Alistair Fagan, number 44, just ahead of David Allingham on the 450. David back with us, a slightly different colour scheme there. Almost a Yamaha looking colour. I don't want to curse that because Ian Newton will give me a good slap from in competition, but that is an Aprilia, I can confirm. Number 11. Curtis Rothwell leading the Mini Twins then. Lewis Osler also out in this race. But Callan Cooper leads, the JDF sponsored rider. Lives on the Isle of Man, does Callan, and his dad, very good friends with the Hodgson family. That's Neil Hodgson. And Callan has been receiving some tutoring, shall we say, from the former World Superbike champion. So it seems to be helping. Callan was in the 125 British Championship last year, but he's just too tall for that bike now, and with his age there's limited machinery that he can jump on, so this was the perfect class for Callan Cooper to make the move onto. The 450 Aprilia, they handle so well, and he's having a good season. Sponsored, Callan Cooper of course sponsored by the, well, I say sponsored, it's the JDF racing team, so John Davis managing the team, but his family and friends are all standing on pit lane hoping that he can take a win here. There's Ross Twyman, number 15, holding off Harry Coomber now. Ross from Canterbury started off in Aprilia Supertwins a couple of years ago, and I think you could say he had a steady start. He was touted as a wet weather specialist. He doesn't like that name tag though. He said he doesn't actually really like the wet that much. It just so happens he runs okay in it. There's Harry Coomber though, hanging around the outside. You don't want to be hitting any of those cones. Back onto the pit lane and the pit wall, showing the last lap flag now for Callan Cooper, who's got an unassailable lead at the front of the Doodson Motorsport 650 Open. He's just got a cruise round, and as I say that, he almost runs too deep into the Dean hairpin, sticks his left leg out, Rossi style, or should I say Kevin Schwantz style. And this battle for second is the one that's hotting up. Sam Cox currently leading it, but Ross Twyman up the inside, not through there, no. Just ahead of him then, Sam Cox, and also Harry Coomber in that fight for second. One of these guys is going to miss out on the podium. So they'll all be hungry to get themselves a trophy. Tom Oliver's just fallen away from the pack here, so he'll be looking to make that back up, but none of them have been able to get the measure of Callan Cooper at the front. Rider from Ramsey and the Isle of Man, who's led from start to finish. And we'll end the race, by the looks of things, with the fastest lap of the race also. And Sam Cox, a strange line into Tarzan hairpin, but manages to hold off the rest of them. It's going to be between him, Harry Coomber, and Ross Twyman for second and third. Now making his way onto the start-finish straight, Callan Cooper. He has a good look over his shoulder and he can cruise across the line. Cooper wins here at Rockingham. An excellent ride from the Isle of Man rider. Second place does go to Sam Cox. He just holds off Harry Coomber, who takes third. Ross Twyman just misses out on a podium, as does Tom Oliver in fifth. Will Hodgson up into sixth place, but just a couple of seconds behind Tom. And there is Callan Cooper in the middle, Sam Cox to the left, and Harry Coomber on the right. In the Mini Twins, it is Curtis Rothwell, Lewis Osler, and James Robinson. And in the 400s, we have Ozzy Mady and Ian Evans. Championship standings overall, then Josh Davies does still lead as we head into Anglesey, but Sam Cox closes up, Callan Cooper third, and Oliver fourth.
Winner of the LMB Formula 400, Ozzy Mady. How did you find it out there in the sunshine?
It was pretty hot. I mean, we've struggled all weekend to find some rear end grip, but you know, the weather's sort of changed far too much to find a decent setting, so you know, we just took it how it was. Excellent. Have you got any sponsors? Yeah, I'd just like to thank my parents mainly, my grandparents, Warren Richardson, David Corrin, Wisney Sliders, and the Isle of Man Steam Packet Company for helping me all season. Excellent, thanks very much. And moving on to Curtis Rothwell, winner of the Digital Mini Twins. How did you find it out on the track today? Difficult, it's been quite an hard day today. The second race went easier than I thought. I was expecting Robinson and Willis to come past me, but held on to the engine and thankfully I managed to pull it off, so good result for me today. Good job. Excellent, have you got any sponsors to thank?
I'd like to thank my mum and dad as always, Mick and Dan and Palferman, Safe Link Golmar, my brother Reece. He had an off in the last race, so I hope he's alright, but he's going to do well next race and hopefully bring it home safe.
Well done, thank you. And a storming lead by Callum Cooper. Well done. How did you find it today?
Yeah, good. It was quite, you know, conditions weren't the best with the wind, and I thought it was going to rain before the race. Track was a bit slippy then, but it all went well, to be honest.
Well done. And any sponsors?
Yeah, Mum, Dad, DC, Duke, and everyone else amped out, and Jem Davies. I forgot him there. Cheers.
Thank you.
Well, don't go anywhere. Rockingham has one more race to go at ThundersportGB. The RLR Motorsport 600 Sportsman Elite up next.